And so that was a really dark and depressing time professionally for me. And then in my personal life, it was like fuel on the fire when my mom got sick.
What was the first sign that you noticed something was wrong? Because people forget things. People, I'll think I have Alzheimer's every day, but also my grandfather died of it. My grandmother died of it. So that does sort of resonate. But I think, I remember my grandfather, there were certain things when I saw him, the first time when I noticed, I went up to the mountains and he never got upset. And he came out of his room and he's like, "Where's the key? Where's the key to the pool area?" Because it was like a bungalow colony, and everybody had a key, and they're like, "This key needs to be on the hook. It needs to be on the hook. Why is it?" And like, all of us were like, "Irv, it's okay. We have the key. We have the key." And then he caught himself. It was something so small, and he just was confused. And then he went back, and that was the first time I noticed something was off. And then he slowly started repeating himself and doing things. But what were signs that you started to go, "Fuck, something's not right"?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about dementia is that once you've seen one case of dementia, you've seen one case of dementia. They're all a little bit different. And my mom's condition in particular was never really typical, in the sense that, I would read all these anecdotes online of people with loved ones with Alzheimer's disease, with other forms of dementia, and it was never perfectly relatable. So I felt very isolated, actually. For my mom, she began complaining of brain fog, which at first I thought was just par for the course of getting older. I thought that was just like, my mom's now.
We all get it.
We all get it, and I had not had any, my maternal grandmother, so my mom's mom, was in her 90s at the time and cognitively healthy. So the idea that my mom could have had this quote unquote old person's disease when her mom was totally cognitively normal was just like, that wasn't even on my radar.
Right.
But she continued to complain about it when I would call her from LA. And ultimately, it wasn't until we had taken a family trip to Miami.
2011?
Yeah, it was like around 2011, where my mom, we were all in my dad's living room. So my parents had been divorced, but they were still amicable. And we took a family trip where me and my brothers and my mom went down to visit my dad. And we were all standing in my dad's, we were in his living room, but open floor plan. My mom was in the kitchen, and she was like talking to the family, and she finally confessed that she had sought the help of a neurologist. And that was pretty odd, to seek the help from a neurologist in and of itself.
And she wasn't someone who complained or went and saw doctors all the time. And
No. Yeah.
So that was a little bit like, whoa, you took a step like that. Something's right.
Yeah. Although, I think like I grew up in a family of all boys. So it was me, my dad, my two younger brothers. And like, there's a lot of, when you grow up in a family of all boys, like women have other health needs,
right,
as compared to men. So, their menopause, right? For example,
right,
particularly at that age. So there is a big sort of, it can be a bit mysterious, like watching a parent, but like your mother, for example, when you're not of that gender, like, I don't know. It's just my own ignorance,
It is. It's an ignorance, and it's sort of just like I think I do that too with my mom. I'm like, "Oh, you're fine. Stop. You're always like this. You're always worrying about this and that. You forget. Everybody forgets everything. You just kind of ignore it because you just don't think that you think it's something else.
Yeah. And also, and I think that's reflected in medicine at large. I mean, 1 in 4 women over the age of 40 are now on some kind of antidepressant drug. And there's like been this long stereotype of the hysterical woman, and there's like these deeper issues in science and nutrition, like usually all the studies are involve men as the primary subject. Like women tend to be ignored, and certainly I was in the dark about women's health, and that's actually one of the reasons why on my podcast we do focus a lot on women's health issues, because I think it's an important topic. But I digress. So anyway, my mom confessed at that point that she, her brain fog was serious to the point that she had sought the help of a neurologist. And me and my brothers were, we essentially thought my mom was trolling us. And so we started to ask her these pointed questions like, well, if you're having such difficulty, like we're testing her, what month is it? And she couldn't recall the month. She couldn't tell us what month it was.
Wow.
Which is,
did you think she was like, come on, Mom, are you serious?
Yeah. No, we thought she was messing with us.
Yeah.
But then she broke down and she started to cry. And that's when I knew that things were really serious, and, or at least more serious than I had thought previously.
Wow.